10 life and money hacks that you need to master before turning 40. Number 1. Influence rather than be influenced. When we're younger, in our 20s, figuring out who we are, it's so easy to sway with the wind. Trying something out because it's the cool thing to do and everyone else seems to be doing it. It's only when we start to get a bit of knowledge and experience behind us that we can start to understand and learn who we really are. That's why in your 30s, it's all about being the influencer. Don't doubt the value that you have. You are a unique person, you have had unique experiences, and you have so much to give. What you need to be able to do is identify what those unique experiences are and how to then leverage that skill set to your advantage. So part of this is going to be making sure you are continuously educating yourself in the field that you are leveraging, as well as also setting clear goals and regularly reflecting on them, ensuring that they are aligning to your current aspirations. If you're able to create a personal brand that is your true authentic self, you will be able to influence successfully. Number 2, never accept the first offer. I have learnt this the hard way, particularly through salary negotiations over the years. And if you're really keen and you really want a job, it can be very hard not to say yes to the first offer. But what you need to remember is that the offer is usually a starting point for negotiations. Whether that's you receiving an offer for a salary for a new job, or similarly, you putting in an offer on a house, an offer on a lease car, or purchasing a service off of someone. It's so important that you make yourself aware of the market rates, whether that's for a job or whether that's something that you're purchasing, to make sure that you are going in with all the ammunition that you need. And don't be afraid of any awkward silences or pauses. If they crack first, then you're winning. Number 3. The silent achiever. Now, there are generally 2 types of people that I've come across in life, and I work with both kinds at the moment. You have the person that is quiet, chugs along in the background, does a good job, gets everything done that you need to get done. You then have this other person that is incredibly loud, loves talking the talk, but you never seem to get much action out of them. I have opted for the silent achieve approach because I don't need people knowing my business. I don't need them knowing every single thing that I am working on. And if I am able to get on with something quietly, usually I am more successful at it. It removes any potential pressure that you might have, and it gives you the space to work on it at your own pace. The benefit as well of being a silent achiever is that you remove the need to seek external validation, and then you can also build a really good reputation through delivering consistent performance because you're not shouting about your losses. You're only then shouting about your wins at the point at which you are ready to do so, when you have results to share. Number 4. Pragmatic power. It is so easy to get caught up in the big dreams, the big wins, and hitting the jackpot at some point in your life. It's almost like thinking you're realistically going to win the lottery, which, although it does happen, is very unlikely. The problem is if you're having this sort of approach and this sort of thinking pattern, that you may never actually even get started. If you're searching for something perfect and something that is perfection, you're very unlikely to find it, and therefore you probably won't even make it past the first hurdle. It will be so much more beneficial for you to just take a practical approach and then learn along the way. Learn from the things that don't work out. Gain knowledge from the things that do. You will actually end up learning so much more and progressing so much more quickly because you have just tried things out. A great example of this is the pottery class theory. A teacher takes her class and she splits them into 2 teams. The first group's assignment is to create one perfect pot within the next week. The second group, however, is to create as many pots as possible in the same time period, regardless of the quality of them. What do you think happened? Well, because the second class had so much practice at creating so many pots, their pot was actually more perfect than the first group, demonstrating why practice makes perfect. Next, understand the driver of envy. If you're able to understand something that triggers jealousy or envy within you, then that can be a really powerful tool in helping you to identify and understand something that you feel is missing in your life, and then how you can work on changing it. Also, there are so many things as well that we see on a day-to-day basis that do not make us jealous in any shape or form. For example, scrolling through social media, so many women, models that have amazing bodies, 6 packs, no fat on them, amazing muscle tone and amazing shape. I can appreciate that that is an amazing thing for them to achieve, but I don't have any jealousy because it's not something that I aspire to look like, and I also know that it's probably not something that I would be able to achieve considering how much I enjoy food. So that for me wouldn't trigger any type of jealousy. However, if on the other hand, I saw someone that had true personal freedom, they could work flexibly, they could travel whenever they wanted, and they had true independence in their decision making, that is something that would trigger jealousy inside of me. And my instant reaction to that is, how can I get what they have? Some people can choose to use jealousy in a negative way or as a demotivator, but in my case, I choose to take it positively. I've identified something that I truly desire because I wouldn't feel jealous if I didn't really want it. And therefore I can identify that, put together an actionable plan in order to help me get to that point. And I'm fired up and ready to go as a result. Number 6, nourish your body. A well-nourished body equals improved performance and output. You can't expect to perform at a high level if you aren't putting good quality food and nutrients into your body. You want to be developing those healthy eating habits, having a balanced diet of fats, carbohydrates and proteins, making sure that you are getting those vitamins and nutrients that you need, as well as also hydrating yourself. Greatness starts from within, so if you are putting good things into your body, you are therefore helping and supporting yourself to create and generate greatness. Number 7, choose yourself. Everyone's lives are complicated and there are many different facets that feed into the way that we live and the way that we approach things. It's very easy to let the feeling of fear stop you in your tracks and stop you from doing something that you are passionate about or want to try and want to test out. It might be different. You might be worried that you're going to get judged by others, and those sorts of thoughts and feelings can end up hindering you. But what I have learned as I've gotten older, and is something that I will never let go of now, is that my happiness is important, and as long as I'm happy, I'm not hurting anyone, then I should be able to do what I want to do. I say this to myself and I say this to you now. Just go for it. You've got nothing to lose. And there is nothing worse than looking back in a few years' time and thinking, what if? You are the result of your choices. So don't let external factors hold you back. Number 8. Mastering your energy cycles. There will be points throughout the day that you as a person will be more optimized and energized to work on certain things. Every single person is different and you just need to find out what works for you. Once you are able to identify your natural energy patterns, you can then align the types of tasks that you need to do for the upcoming day ahead to make sure that you are producing work at the highest level possible and you are working as efficiently as possible. For example, I find that I work so much better early in the morning. I'm more productive, I'm more focused, so I always prioritize my toughest and most important tasks at that point in the day. Part of what will ensure your success in this as well is mastering your sleep habits, making sure that you are prioritizing getting enough sleep to ensure that you are able to perform at the high level that you both want and need to. Number 9. Daily pages. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Knowledge is power. If you are able to consistently build on your knowledge and build on your learnings, you will be supporting yourself to greatness. This is why every single day without fail, I prioritize some form of reading that is going to educate me and better me as a person. Whether that's ensuring that I know what's going on in the world, prioritizing listening to my audiobook for at least an hour on the way to work, or just reading something that is completely different, random, but broadens my knowledge and gives me a different perspective on something that I hadn't had before. And then finally, the power of curiosity. Curiosity will naturally take you outside of your comfort zone, and outside of your comfort zone is where greatness happens. Nothing great came from anything ordinary. If you're able to cultivate a growth mindset, ask questions and seek to understand deeply, you will be able to understand diverse subjects and pivot on your perspective. If you are able to utilize curiosity as a tool for innovation and pushing the boundaries, thinking outside of the box, you will potentially open up new doors for you that you never knew would have existed before. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know if there are other things that you're targeting on mastering before you turn 40. I'd love to hear. See you in the next one.